Welcome to RomWills Money Matters. I've been through quite a few recessions. I remember, you know what everybody's talking like about the economy, talking about a recession. And, I mentioned briefly when I was working at this department store, but yet still got a raise, upper level position in my last episode because I was working hard. And that's one of the things. Regardless of what's going on out there, when they say recessions, really they're looking at a lot of the bigger companies. And yeah, that can affect a smaller company depending on where it is. But no matter what, people still need stuff. People still need to eat. People still need to eat. People still need services. And if you live in some place, whether you renting a place or you have a mortgage for a place, pipes might go bad. Pipes might go bad. I had mentioned before when I was living at the modest apartment before I got this house. And one time the pipes went bad for the whole building on a Sunday and people were going out. You still need a plumber and everything. But people still need stuff. I don't care what's going on. I don't care how bad the recession is, how bad jobs are. There's still people working. If you pay real close attention, there's still people working. Even people, they talking about AI, but AI can't do everything. AI cannot fix your HVAC. AI is not doing some carpentry. AI is not laying out like these roads out here, because where I live, they working on the highway, and they doing all that stuff. Those are live people out there when they fixing stuff. I remember I was doing a car video and I ran into some people working on the road, and you know how they had those signs up because they can only have one lane open. It was like, come on now. I'm gonna tell you what. One of the things of going through these recessions is you can still make that money. Like I entitled this, I've been through quite a few recessions. But my thing is, I still got to make that money. That's why I say, let's go make that money. You still got to do something. You still got to pay stuff. And it was a tough period. It was because I was going through the Great Recession and paying a mortgage. Yet still making more money, but just being more outstanding. Look, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on out here. There's always some stuff, but you can always do something. Shoot, even during COVID, it's probably still making more money. It was like, yeah, I was working from home, but that's making money. There's still plenty of stuff out here that's not being affected by a slowdown. Some stuff is, some stuff isn't. And it depends on what you're doing. It depends on how outstanding you are at your job. They were talking about grocery stores, and maybe because not as many people buying stuff or the stuff is going up, but they still have to have people who deliver stuff. They still have to have that. Or if you have a small store, depending on what you're selling, people might still pick up stuff. Let me use the local bookstore. When I go to the local bookstore, it's still crowded in there. It's still crowded. Indeed, I was reading something where it was talking about during the Great Depression, a lot of people were still going to the movies. It depends on what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you what, being through these recessions, I personally didn't really notice much. But what did I say in my last video? You be outstanding in your job or your business. Still work hard. And I've been through plenty of ROIs, reduction in force. Now return on investment, reduction, ROFs. So, sorry about that. But it was always the same thing. When we would go through reduction in forces or layoffs, whatever you want to call it, I still made it through all the time. I still made it through. And I've seen that with the government. And I've also seen that in retail. I've seen that in plenty of it. I've seen it plenty of times. But I wouldn't get hit with it. Like the only time I told you one time I did get fired one time, but that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. Because that same business that fired me, they had some drama. They had some drama. They went out of business soon. They were on some bull. Anyway, right? I've been through quite a few of them. Look, all you can do, regardless of what somebody's saying, regardless of who's losing their jobs, you just gotta keep going. Indeed, even with what's going on now, and I'm hearing about these people being fired, I'm hearing about people being fired then hired right back. They still going through it. You still need stuff. There's still the stuff need to be going on. Like I'll mention a major company, Amazon. I still see Amazon trucks driving through past the house, or people driving their cars, dropping off something. You can still do something. You just got to be outstanding. You just have to be good in it. And yeah, it's tough. It might be tough for some people, but look, you got to have in your mind, let's go make that money. Because you need that money, and you got to see money as a tool. You have to bring that in no matter what. No matter what. You can't be like, oh wow, all this stuff is going on. One, I'm gonna tell you what, don't get so caught up in the news, because I think there's a lot of videos, especially on, platforms like this, platforms where they have videos where it's more like doom. They'll say, oh, this is happening, this is happening. But you have to have the mindset, well, it ain't happening to me. Because you're going to work hard on your job, you're going to do extra. Like say you on a job. One of the things I would recommend you do on a job is find out all the other things you can do. Get yourself to the point where they can't just lay you off. Be that type who's going to work extra. When you have a business, and this is especially for businesses where people need it, you want to give extra customer service. When people are looking for something, they're going to think about you because you're going the extra mile. I want you to always think about that. Go the extra mile. And yeah, I'm going to tell you what. There are people talking about there's going to be a recession. There'll probably be something a few years from now, a few years after that. Everything goes in cycles. But whatever you do, you want to be that person that they're going to keep no matter what. Whether you work in a job, whether you got that business, whether it's something. And even though I haven't talked about it in a long time, that's something that you can use your savings for. Let me just say that real quick. That can help you develop your savings. That can help you through some down periods. But it's going to happen. And then you definitely want to manage how you spend your money. But regardless of the case, I've been through quite a few of them. And you know what? I didn't really notice, even during the Great Recession, I'm going to be real with you. Even though people were talking all this stuff and there was all this conversation about it, I was making more money. I probably made more money during the Great Recession. I was keeping going. And plus, just real quick, I remember talking with this gentleman who was making six figures at the time. And he said somebody making money off of it. And I always had that attitude. It was like somebody making money. It's just have that attitude regardless of what's going on, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. You know the deal. Let's go make that money.